Biblioteka. Alright. I got it. Alright. We'll go a bit back and forth and stuff.
Second Inquisition. You can read more about it in the Second Inquisition book, which we've released just recently. This and way more is included as the lore of Bloodhunt, which of course is a canon game to World of Darkness happening in Prague. And if you want to uncover more, I very much recommend to read the journal in the game. As you play the game, as you discover some
so we'll catch
elements,
this
you
for
will
about
be
an hour,
having
and then we'll check out the
get
major.
more and more of the story. If you enjoy the story, you can always visit us on worldofdarkness.com to read more about clans, factions, and the universe as a whole. And in the meantime, do not get lost in the night, and I hope you will enjoy Prague. Bye.
Prague. Very
Thank you
beautiful
so
city.
much, Outstar, for that. So much lore in this game. And what's really cool, and she had mentioned it in the video as well, is that there is a lot of it just littered throughout the game. In the pre-game lobby, you could check out a bunch of different journals and learn so much about this incredible universe, the Vampire Masquerade, the World of Darkness, everything in between. And as you heard, this is a canon game, so it does fit within that universe. But guys, I mean, you know, like this game was... Like, again, I'm not, like, crazy into the vampire genre, but this game has turned me into a fan of it because I know that it comes from a pen and paper role-playing game. It's made me, if I can become just a fan of the genre and the world as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. Even myself, like, I would have never think playing a vampire game or something like it, but I played Coterie of New York.
Yeah.
And it was really good, like, learning the lore.
What?
It's so huge. We have about 30 years of content right here. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great. And you already talked about the journals in-game. I can just advise to anyone that's new to playing the game, check it out in-game.
The fuck are you talking about?
You can collect objectives and stuff like that inside the game, and you will complete your journal, which essentially, you will have all the information you need to know about Bloodhunt in one place.
All right, well, good news here, folks, is that
what face is it? It's the what face guy. I get it.
One of the producers over at Shark Mob, and
I get it, man. Gustav RSH, thank you for the 3 years. He get cringe face. Yes, you may. K-Fella with 1 year, Pac-Man.
Someone who I've had the pleasure to work with across a variety of different games. He's a producer at Shark Mob. David Serlin is joining us now. There he is, David. Oh, I like the backdrop.
That looks like Artosis with his camera.
Dave, it's good to see you, man. How's everything?
It's very good, thank you. I hope this works well.
Yeah,
I'm actually in my little gym.
We see you.
A little pixelated, but you look fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
That's all that matters. Well, we have a lot of questions for you, Dave, that we wanted to talk with you about. Jackie, I know we got a lot from the community to kind of break through here.
Yeah, okay, so we have some questions for you from the community, as Golden Boy was saying. And the first one is from Syringo81. He wanted to ask, how did you come up with the names for the classes, and why did you call them those names in particular?
It's a collaborative effort.
I'm saving my popcorn for when the movie starts.
That
like a real
initial
boomer.
archetype has some ideas initially.
When people
Normally
waste it
we
too
pick
early
the
in
ones
the
that
cinemas,
most people in the
a rookie
teams seem to
mistake.
gravitate towards. And then, of course,
Never eat
legal has a
before the
little
movie
say at the
actually
end
starts.
as well.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Valid, yeah.
Our next question comes from another community member. It's Nahum Dyer, and they ask, it's nice this game has a tutorial mode, but will there ever be a practice/training mode that allows players to practice with any of the archetypes against AI opponents?
Don't smash it, okay? Don't smash it!
Yeah, I mean, the tutorial is very much an initial taste, indeed. There's more to learn. Bloodhunt, obviously, as you've heard, when you talk hours and stuff. So we realize there's more we can do here. With the next update, something that will help practice both, I hope. I don't say what it is, but...
Okay, all right. So, and just for those of you guys at home, basically, that there is going to be there's going to be some nuggets in the next update. David, your camera's kind of cutting in and out there, but don't worry about it. We got you covered, baby. But yeah, we have like 1 or 2 more questions from the community.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to read this verbatim. This is from Crimson Rain with a 3. Love it.
Know.
I want to know, like, what was the original idea for this game? Like was included in there, so I felt like I should read it. How many times did it morph from the idea that you had originally? And did any family members have input for the game?
Ooh, that's an interesting. So yesterday we actually had our release party. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a little bit tired. We got shown a really initial video from very early in development. I wasn't on the project. And two things stood out from that early video.
Bitrate.
One is that the tempo is very different in our game now. It's very frantic and hectic and fast now, and it wasn't in the video at all. And, you know, a lot of the assets that we used in that video is still in use in the game today in Prague, and some areas actually recognized. And also, Bloodhunt is very much play as person.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what we take away from
you gotta, yeah, it really is best played in third person because you get a lot of the world and a lot of the universe. Speaking of the universe, actually, there was another question, and this will be our last one before we let you go, David. But I'm sure we'll talk to you in a little bit. This one came from New Drift, and they asked, "What is the inspiration behind the game from movies or TV shows or whatever that may be?"
Many games to draw inspiration from here when it comes to Bloodhunt and Vamp. I think depending on your generation, they differ quite a lot. Me, for instance,
I'm really good at ciphers.
I'm sorry, I completely lost myself.
Oh, no,
You're good.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but every vampire movie, series, or game is, of course, like an inspiration. And what maybe we can modernize that for 2022. That's what we're hoping here, that we're the next kickoff here for vampires in general.
The next wave. I like that. Watch out, Team Edward. We're coming for you.
Oh, no. Yes, you did.
Thank you, David, so much for your time. And I'm sure we'll see you later on in the show. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good one.
Soy Batman.
Thank you.
So did they drink any blood at that party?
I don't want to know.
I hope not.
I don't.
Maybe some, you know, blood-inspired cocktail.
I like the way you're.
A Bloody Mary.
It's concerning how you're thinking here.
Okay.
Okay, Bloody Mary, actually.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one. I'm also a big fan of our next two casters. They're going to be joining us as part of the talent team. We want to welcome John P. and Veracity here on the broadcast. Guys, it's a pleasure to have you here. John, you're a big fan of your work over in Valorant, CS. It's wonderful to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I think it's actually the first time all of us guys have sort of worked together.
Forsen,
right?
you should give back your payment so this guy can afford a decent internet connection.
You know, listening and sort of picking Falcon's brain as well, like just as a fan of the game was so insightful to watch. So yeah, I'm really excited to jump into the games and hopefully crush it with you guys today.
It's a pleasure also to be joined by the Ice Cream Queen herself, Veracity, who, by the way, fun fact, we're here in Italy. We're having a great time. It's been fun. But, you know, Jasmine wanted to just go and get gelato, an obscene amount of gelato, and you got all the gelato.
Here. Honestly, it was amazing. Okay, so I went for a mango gelato, lemon gelato, and also peanut. I think it was we had, right?
Oh, she liked the gelato so much, like we nearly missed the cab back to the studio because we went to a different
the gelato place, got gelato, and then I was like, man, I was like, I could really go for some more gelato. So then we went and got some more.
That's right.
We'll get you some gelato.
We will get you some. Don't worry. It was my personal mission.
I had frozen yogurt.
We'll figure it out. They have all sorts of options.
Don't worry. I got you. I got you.
I know.
Don't worry about it.
We'll make a little gelato trip later. Also, we all took this awesome archetype quiz, right? Yes. So should we guess what everybody was?
Sure. I'm going to pull mine up right now because I definitely, you know, look, it was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and everyone's like, we got to do the archetype quiz. And we're pulling up. So there's this awesome quiz. And I'm sure someone will link it in the chat for people who want to take it themselves. You can see what archetype you are in the Vampire Masquerade universe. And we'll, you know, before we get into the gameplay, and don't worry, folks, because the gameplay is starting in just a few minutes. And then we're going to be announcing our next milestone and our winners as well. So there was a milestone gained. We'll jump into that in a moment. But yeah, let's if I had to guess the archetype for you, Jackie, let's see. Let's say, well, I don't know. Maybe Nosferatu.
Really?
Maybe Nosferatu.
No way. The Shadows?
Shadows.
Okay, Bruja, 100%. I knew that. Before I even started taking the test, I was like, I already know what I'm gonna get.
Have Facebook.
And actually, I spoke with Samir earlier. I'm a part of the Shark Mob team, and he was like, they're passionate speakers, and their offense is their defense, and they're very concerned with defending people. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. Like usually you think like brute, attack, aggressive, abrasive, but actually like they have a lot of heart. Now, and I was like, oh. And you got the same thing.
I got Bruja
You got the
as
same.
well. But speaking of attack and offense, I forgot to mention this before. We'll get to John and Veracities in a second. There's actually an incredible trophy that is being forged for our competitors, because the winner is going to walk away with this sick trophy. If we put it on screen here, it's being 3D printed, created, all fit within the theme, John, of the Vampire Masquerade universe. It looks so sick.
Dude, when we first saw this, like I think our exact words were like, "Can we stop casting and play the game and try and win this?" Right? Like this thing looks absolutely nuts and unreal. I mean, you got to say huge props to the team that put it together and designed it. I mean, Jackie, I know yourself. You said you were a huge fan of it, right?
Yeah, actually, it was made by Vulpin Props, and they've done work for Valorant, League of Legends, Magic the Gathering, so they know what they're doing. I'm going to try to say this. They're painted with urethane plastic.
Ooh.
I know. I had to put a pronouncer in there. I was
saw
like,
it.
yeah, you're like,
and what you're seeing right here on the screen, by the way, is a render of the trophy. The trophy is being made right now, and the 3 winners of our competition.
I was going to say, that looks really fucking good.
Sweet
for
trophies.
painted.
But back over to the personality quiz. We found out that both of us were a couple Bruges.
Yeah.
But maybe it will look that good.
What you get?
Okay,
People
I'm not
are
going to
sick
reveal
with
what
a
I
brush.
got yet, but if I had to, like me and John have
Psych.
casted enough for long enough. We've been friends for long enough for me to try
Enforcer.
I feel like you put a lot of pressure on
Enforcer. Enforcer? What did you think?
I mean, he's a fan of playing Enforcer, but I feel like maybe a Torador, you know?
Well, I would see why you think that. There's a lot of personality traits I could take from them, but I've actually got a clan that's not actually in the game yet, which is so that links back to the whole lore of the game, which I know we were speaking to the devs on multiple occasions that there are potential for new clan types to come in, but mine's called a Malkavian. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is super awesome. The first line it said you are derided by other vampires and humans as a lunatic. So, I mean, I guess that's how this broadcast is going to go, right? But it says one thing you do is feel emotions that sometimes are too strong to bear. And I would say myself, I can get hit in the feels a few times every now and then. So I don't know about the lunatic part, but maybe the feels part.
No, we're kidding.
I think it was the guy who teleports.
Veracity, what about for you? What'd you get?
I got Torador.
Oh!
That's what I was hoping that
I felt like you would.
Really? I
Teleports
sent the
with the
screenshot in like
shadows.
the chat, like with all the devs, and they were like, yeah.
Dog
we
shit
can see that
class.
happening, so.
All right, I like it. Well, guys, it is now time to jump into the action. Our teams are ready to go here for the Blood Hunt for charity. We have 2 excellent casters that are going to be guiding you all throughout the day. We have our other casters that are going to be coming in a little later on. Milestones are going to be awarded. It's going to be nuts.
Are they
Let's
playing
jump
in
right
person?
into the action, and I'll let you 2 take it from here.
Yes, thank you so much, Jackie, Golden Boy, doing a wonderful job. Listen, there's reasons why these guys are like goats at the game. Right?
No.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But I'm excited, nevertheless, to jump into the games. We've got some fantastic players. You know, the desk broke it down earlier on in terms of who we've got. We've got some of the best Battle Royale players in the likes of Timmy, for example. We've got Reps, who's a pro player in the Battle Royale region for TSM. We've got the likes of Shroud, who you could put him on Connect 4 and he'll be the best at the game. He's honestly just that talented, much of a talented gamer. And we got lots of personalities from the likes of cosplay to multiple different variety games, all coming a part of this amazing event, of course, for a good cause as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's one thing that I absolutely love, the fact that all of these creators have really kind of pulled all of their resources together, bringing their communities, involving them, of course. So make sure if you are joining us across from any of the other kind of content creators' streams, make sure you're typing in !donate. Of course, this is what we're all here for. Very, very important stuff. And John, I want to talk really quick about team. I say team, not really a team, but basically Team TSM.
You stole my line. I said that to you earlier. I'm claiming that because let's be real. They're not officially the Bloodhunt team of TSM, but they've all either been a part of or are a part of TSM at some point, right? I mean, you got Sabrosa, who's a Valorant player. Wardell used to be a Valorant player. I think he might even still be a content creator for them. I'm not 100% sure, but then you've got
there's only one person in the world who has a positive
I guess for today we can
track
call them
record
Team TSM.
against
The
Shroud
owners of TSM don't slide in on DMs and like,
in
okay,
tournaments.
we're not getting into Bloodhunt now because you've leaked
And
the
that
roster,
is me.
I'm excited. Nevertheless, we're going
that
through.
Is the
I guess what you could say is the character select, the vampire select, the archetype select. Let's say that, for example, is lots of different types of players and builds and abilities that you can take into this game. Yourself, who you a fan of? I think you is it Saboteur? I think I usually see you running.
That's why I don't play tournaments anymore, because then I might lose
the ability to be able to kind of evacuate any dangerous situation.
That speaks volumes of you in real life. It really does. There's been times where like we've got into a disagreement or we've been casted and something's not gone wrong, and I've just turned around and I'm like,
wait, where's
she's literally vanished, IRL.
When we go shopping and stuff like that as well. It's the long legs, okay? I'm blaming that. But I believe we have a Muse on our screens right now as well, John. What about yourself? Are you a fan of the Muse?
I am. In terms of who I usually play, I would say 9 times out of 10, I stroll towards the likes of the Prowler.
Look at him! Look at him! Look at him!
It's one of the best abilities in the game. If I can sort of hit the nail in terms of you can
look at me!
To sort of engage your opponent should they be low.
Look at him! Look at the game! Look at the streamer! Look at him! Look at the game! Look at him! Look at him!
I mean, either way, there's going to be lots to dive into and digest as well, I think we have like 3 or 4 hours worth of gameplay, so we'll see a few different chop and changes. One thing I want to talk about though is drop spots, right? Of course, listen, there are multiple different regions and countries playing in this event, so you might see the call-outs in different languages on the map. We're going to try and give them to you in English.
I wonder how the gas tanking,
anywhere in particular that you like to land, Jazz? I mean, I know whenever we play, we've usually headed towards the likes of Abandoned Mall, for example.
Because that is meta strategy for tournaments in Battle Royales.
I gravitate towards the high loot areas, but then I kind of get a little bit annoyed at myself because I'm like, hold on a minute, I've just instantly died. I've landed
on that loot.
That explains why I have taken over the role of IGL in our games.
I wouldn't get too far ahead of yourself then, mister. I've definitely got a few tricks up my sleeve as well, especially when I'm playing as a Saboteur. I love the fact that, you know, when you are
there should be a Forsen build in this game
to kind of
with a vampire
have the
that
invisibility and rapid movement to reposition yourself in any given moment when it comes to a fight or even sneaking up upon your opponents. I think is absolutely crucial. It's great stuff, but right now drinking some blood as you do. That's what this game is all about, to be honest with you, John.
Yeah, so there's multiple benefits to, you know, sort of, let's say, feeding, because that is what you do, right? Feeding on the innocent. Not only does it allow you to heal, but you also get an added benefit in terms of some of the civilians might allow you to gain sort of a stealth advantage, a movement speed advantage, a health advantage over time. So, you know, keeping track of that and keeping that handy.
Hello, Mr. Really Force. I mean, tomorrow you will finally be undone from PUBG. Will the God Gamer be making his triumphant return to the arena?
My tactic, before banning early game though.
Minus 1 month. Oh my god.
Busy.
Oh my god, why?
Everybody's busy looting up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
that's a strategy.
We do want to mention, of course, this is a kill race, so they are in a custom lobby. For example, they are in their respective servers. It's a 3 versus 3 kill race. You know, we're fundraising here for Save the Children and the good cause as well, and basically most the limbs win.
That is the aim of the game.
What it is.
So every single one of our creators are in separate public lobbies. The aim of the game, get as many eliminations as possible. That's really what it boils down to, and I think that is exactly why it's so incredibly important to have the likes of a Muse on your team. They do indeed have the ability to make use of their archetype, which is the rejuvenating voice, which not only heals themselves but also their allies. And when you're firing some shots like that, John.
Down.
Yeah, well, I think let's give it unfortunately instantly going to be knocked. Now, 2 players left alive for the side of Shijoka. It's going to be herself and Jula Card. Does get a trade though, I do believe, so that revive, or should I say, yeah, that revive will come through relatively quickly. Now, one thing I love about Bloodhunt is there is 2 different ways that you can be resurrected, revived.
I'm sorry, Forsen, but I cannot fucking stand these fake casters pretending the game is anything but a delayed message of, seriously, I cannot. I simply cannot Forsen. If I have to hear them pretend to be interesting in fucking personality quizzes,
will start to come in as soon as you are knocked. and you can either get yourself revived from an actual teammate as well. They can pick you up, or you can, what I call, go to the light. All right, where you can get if you get completely eliminated from the game, you can be brought back and sort of revived back into the game and spawn back in as well.
See, my favorite thing with that is that you have the ability to ping the closest revive station.
Yes.
And when me and John play, for the folks at home, I am constantly spamming away the revive station to the point of where John gets a little bit annoyed with me. But hey, we move on. It does look like Average Jonas has actually been eliminated, as has his teammate Gabby.
What's on their team?
I think there's one player standing for them.
You know, there's a crossbow in the game, but he's used to the shock dart lineups, for example. It's not going well for him right now. He was like, guys, okay, I'm gonna reveal back sight, and he's like, oh wait, we've actually got that in the game. So,
but I will say, making use of abilities should be like familiar.
That's where the translatable factors can come over as well. For example, I do want to mention though that we did see Jonas's team actually have.
Old Forsen would have actually participated in the tournament and came back with a gold town or something. Feels weird, man. All this Counter-Strike training wasted by playing children's football cars game. Feels weird, man.
The Vampire Kingdom is a little bit frowned upon.
A little bit frowned
upon. It's
the ultimate insult, right?
Okay,
like,
I do get invited to EU tournaments.
Although maybe out early, a nice chunk sum of money going to a big
absolutely, of course. $10 being donated to the lovely folks from Shark Mob for every single elimination that takes place, and as you did mention, an additional $15 as well per Diablerization. Whether or not they'd be able to pull that off is a whole other story. Because let me tell you now, I have, you know what? I think I've actually done a pretty darn good job of making use of Diablerizing players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my instant thought is to just finish them off normally.
Oh, yeah.
I would say like 95% of the time you die in a game, it's because you're
Diablerizing
someone.
It's just adding insult to injury.
It is, right? It's so cool. I love the sort of addition into the game. Do you know what I would love them to do is, I'm pretty sure like the Diablerization can probably change over time. Like there can be like maybe unlocks and different styles of Diablerization that they can be brought into the game. So
PUBG
that's another thing that I want to point out. The folks from Shark Mob, honestly, hats off to them. Myself and you, when we were playing this game, one thing that we really quickly picked up on is how incredibly quickly they're reacting to feedback. People are constantly messaging them across social media, sending in their feedback over on the Discord server and what have you. And they've been on the ball with listening to what the community wants. And I feel like nowadays that's definitely something that is kind of hard to come by for a lot of game companies.
Finding
so
teammates
to see,
who
Shark Mob kind of taking the lead on that, definitely hats off to them. And if you do want to send in some feedback, make sure you do join the Discord server and also check them out on social media at Bloodhunt.
But winning is fun.
Yeah, so what you're seeing right now is that
Hey Forsen, I have nothing to say and I want to waste money to a trillionaire Swedish oligarch. Hello there.
I would kill you both right now if I did not have to drain your bodies.
These are the droids you are looking for. Them and see.
Tags, and that right there is the Vanish coming straight through and allowing them to get out of trouble. So Blood Bag will be popped. That's going to allow the health to regenerate ever so slightly. One thing I like as well, and I've got to say, I think the balance between healing and using an ability is pretty spot on right now. I would say how quickly it takes you to sort of evolve the Blood Bag is pretty spot on. It's not too long. It's not too short. It allows you to sort of pop some heals mid-engagement, and then you can allow yourself to sort of refocus, re-peak, and re-engage that fight.
Contrary to fucking
I think,
PUBG.
especially if you combine that with the use of the Muse. I know I keep going on about the Muse, but the ability to heal your teammates, even if they don't have the resources to make use of a blood bag, of any syringes, no civilians in sight, especially once that red zone starts moving in closer as well. If you're surrounded by opponents, the last thing you want to be doing is to jump down, cause all the civilians to start screaming, and then cause a little bit of a ruckus and draw attention to yourself. So definitely making use of the Muse is definitely kind of up there, but also...
So Shroud was playing with the British guy?
Oh, yeah, it's something that Viken touched on the pre-show, right? Like, it's such a useful ability. It really is.
Sacriel,
I mean,
that's it.
The archetype is called the
and who was the last guy in their team?
It's... we'll keep it. We'll not confuse too many new viewers. We'll call it the bat horrors that just float around the map and reveal everyone's location.
Whenever we play and I see the bats coming on in, how much do I panic? I'm like, John, there's bats.
I mean, I thought Viking kind of hit the nail on the head, to be totally honest with you. Like, he summed it up in terms of, at the end of the game, like, in that final ring or final circle, it's so useful to have those bats available, because you can pretty much say, we can ignore the east side of the zone because we have the sort of the ability of those bats to get that sound cue, to get the ping as to exactly where they are and when they're coming, and that's when we know when we have to focus that area of the map. So it really is. It's super useful to sort of have that ability, but not only that, when you're in an engagement as well. One thing, you know, I love but hate about Bloodhunt at the same time is how quickly you can get yourself out of trouble. Yes. In particular with that vanish ability, for example, on the likes of the Saboteur and the Prowler. Yeah. It's an ability that if you're the one that's getting shot at, you want to have the vanish ability, but when you're shooting at someone, you're like, okay, well, they've got away again. But if you send out those bats at the same time, it helps you track them a lot easier as well, so you can still focus on those players that are low. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. Let's talk a little bit more about the likes of the Vandal and Root.
Yes.
Your opinion of them. Talk to me a little bit, because obviously you have the abilities such as the Soaring Leap, which in my opinion, if you're not necessarily mechanically gifted or feeling very confident with the mechanics of kind of, obviously there's a huge parkour element right now within the game. I absolutely love it, by the way. But of course, if you do manage to kind of jump off a building, it takes you even further. So for myself, I feel like it's not necessarily like, there are better abilities I feel like I would want to have.
Well, I think, you know what, like the Brute and the Vandal, obviously part of the Brute clan, they were the OG, the first sort of clans and characters and archetypes within the actual game. So I think it's always going to have a soft spot in most people's hearts, you could say. However, like you said, I think their abilities, which to be fair, I think the abilities that are in the game are very situational in every single case, right? I mean, like you mentioned the Soaring Leap, which is basically you launch yourself into the air. It's quite self-explanatory here, all right? The people at Bloodhunt keep it simple, which for us analysts and casters is a dream that you haven't got to remember 100 things. So yeah, I think it's very situational. I remember I was speaking to Viken prior to the show, and he was like, I've won so many games where I've just been in like sort of a narrow street, and I've been able to sort of project myself into the air through the Soaring Leap and get height advantage and win the game and see the game out. So I think that's something, and that sort of that movement ability is a little bit overshadowed, but just because of how simple it seems.
I think especially like you mentioned, if you are in a kind of narrow path, it does make it a lot quicker than climbing all of those buildings that are kind of surrounding you, especially if you're surrounded by opponents as well. But another element to this is the Shockwave Punch. John, for those of you at home might not be completely aware as to what that is, you basically get the ability to deflect bullets, which I'll be completely honest with you, great ability to have in the game. I feel like I would kind of forget to use it though.
I can confirm on multiple occasions you have forgot to use it. Like, so you're spot on with what you're saying. But again, I think it comes down to sort of overall mechanics and the way you actually play the game yourself, right? I feel like in a game like Bloodhunt, it's so fast-paced and so engaging. You know, we talk about in multiple other games, Battle Royales in particular, about how key third-partying is, right? There's no such thing as third party in Bloodhunt. It's 9th, 10th, 45th party. Alright, that's how crazy and how fast paced this game is. We literally had like a 20 or 30 minute debate on this when we were playing last week, where it was like, I feel like you have to team wipe or kill a duo or a trio. I mean, solos you can get away with it a little bit better because you can manage the numbers and manage the map and the area and the POIs you're playing around a lot easier. However, if you're in a duo or a trio, if you don't squad wipe within 20 seconds, 25 seconds, you know that another team's going to third party you, so it's very, very tough.
Well, okay, so another reason why I love Saboteur, I'm really selling it to the folks at home, by the way. I'm like always going to be Team Saboteur. Another reason why you should definitely play Saboteur, especially if it's your first time playing Bloodhunt, is that you're semi-invisible while you're walking around crouched. Which for me personally, when I was playing in solos, was incredibly useful, and when I couldn't necessarily rely on John for backup, like most times I play video games with John, it's incredibly useful because it gives you the element of surprise when it comes to kind of taking on your opponents, kind of gathering that bit of information as well.
you know, I was about to make the same point, so I'll let you take the cheap shot this time. Right? I'll let you have it. But no, yeah, it's a super useful ability. I think though it can be spotted if you've got like an eagle eye and a keen eye, because there is like a slight outline.
I think it's good though. It's like a good amount of like semi-invisibility.
Because the thing is, like, if you're in like a super dark corner, it's really hard to tell and really hard to spot sort of where you're looking out from, right? And if you're in a pretty lit up street, crouched behind the car, I'm
like the light kind
of something tells me like this car doesn't have a body outline shaped naturally on the back of it, you know. So I feel like it's very situational. I mean, your default call is John, don't shoot. I'm sat in a dark corner, so I'm just thrown to the lions as bait, or thrown to the vampire, should I say, as bait most of the time. But yeah, it's a super useful ability to have for sure, especially if you sort of pair it with the vanish as well, right? A big green puff of dust comes out of you, and you can sort of shift your way across the map as quickly as possible, and then you scurry your way to a dark corner. You then
sounds like me in real life.
You then sort of hang out and vibe for a little bit in that dark corner while you pop some blood bags and stuff. It's super useful.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it, and I think everybody should be maining the Saboteur.
This is where everyone in the game plays it, and they're like, "Oh my god,
you know
Jasmine was the worst ever."
No, none of that. Here's what everybody at home is going to do. You fantastic folks are going to go ahead and get Bloodhunt installed, downloaded, free to play, of course, on Steam. So make sure you do check it out, because I'm about ready to
disrespect.
Yes, I'm excited. We do though, I believe, courtesy of Golden and Jackie, that we have got some exciting announcements and potential milestones, guys. Is that correct?
Because we did actually have the winner of the Noble Chair. We hit $10,000 donated. Make sure you guys are out there in the chat right now. Gameplay's hot, but make sure you guys are out there in the chat using !donate so that you can go to the Tiltify page and you can contribute to this excellent cause. We do want to give a huge shout out to the winner of the Bloodhunt Hero Edition Noble Chair. The winner is very apropos, by the way.
Forsen. What are they talking about?
No
Forsen. What are you talking about? Forsen. What are chat talking about? Forsen, what am I talking about? I'll tell you what I am talking about. I am talking about the greatest literature known to man. It is called -10.
You're gonna get it. Okay, you got it. But yeah, guys, I think we're back into the gameplay. There was a little bit of a downtime there, but don't worry, we should be good to go.
Self-sacrifice
and have John and Veracity call the action yet again, because our players are right back into the game. Jackie, thank you so much.
We just surpassed 12,000.
Whoa!
It just keeps on going. So all of you at
home,
a
telethon.
Please donate. Please. I know, right? I know. Don't forget, exclamation point, donate. You say exclamation mark. I say
oh my god, yeah.
Exclamation mark. It's an exclamation mark.
Am I weird?
Because you're making your mark.
But I'm like,
at the same time, same time though, like you're making a point, right? Like, because you emphasize the
exclamation mark and a question mark. Yeah,
I've been told point my whole life.
Have you been?
Exclamation point.
Today I learned.
Anyway, y'all take it away.
Listen, you wouldn't think both countries speak the same language, right? That's what I'm saying. But anyway, thank you so much. Again, please do keep donating. It's to a great cause. We're only, not even an hour into the stream thus far, and we've already surpassed such a huge milestone. I'm super excited. We've got lots more games coming up, Jazz.
NVM Forsen, I had a question. Have you watched the series The Pentaverate? On Netflix, it's made by Mike Myers, and it feels like the silly stuff he always does. It's not Austin Powers PodChamp, but it's silly PodChamp Forsen.
I was gonna watch it. I've seen the
Ukraine with the basic necessities like
soap, Comedy Central,
things like
comedian
that.
Guy
Whereas
as well, right?
10K, which we have just surpassed, by the way, can give them equipment emergency and mobile health units to kind of bring care to hundreds of children and families that don't have access to it during crises that are going on as well. So fantastic work, and a huge thank you to everybody that has been donating so far.
Yeah, and I think you've got to give huge props as well to Bloodhunt and Shark Mob in general. This is their first big event. They could easily have, put on a massive esports style event and sort of generated money for themselves. However, they're you know, that's why they're a company that I've loved working with ever since I sort of found out about the game. And
well, they have good fundamentals.
Yeah, I mean,
gas hugging.
I told you to the devs. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
We were literally watching the game release. Like, we often watch like a lot of game releases.
Yeah,
and
like big game shows, for example. That release.
Yeah. So yeah,
wait,
as soon as we saw
player?
Bloodhunt pop up, we were like, okay, we need to get that installed immediately.
What the fuck is this stream about? 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 What the fuck is this stream?
That wouldn't surprise you.
What is it
to
about?
be up there towards the top of the elimination barrier is going to be Team Shroud, already sitting at 4 eliminations for himself, 3 Diablo Rises. So what? That's $40. Quick math plus another 45. That's $85.
Average Jonas thinks he has a chance against Shroud.
The donation into
Here we
a
go.
prize pool. Jonas though as well. 6
head
elims. This man's popping off right here though, Jazz.
Yeah, he's got the sniper in hand, trying to see if he can pop off some of those shots. John,
my man, I like this
ready
guy now.
down, and he manages to knock
Not
a
so
player.
average after all.
Yeah, big knock from him. It's gonna be that sniper rifle. This is a gun that you love as well, right?
Yeah.
This is a gun that you absolutely love. I don't want to say it's because you.
No,
need
I was
scope
playing
to
this
get better.
guy with this ability.
Hey, none
the
of
knock
that.
away ability.
I will equip a melee weapon and show you just how bad I am with it to prove a point. Okay, Flash coming through as well, but Jonas gets down. That's gotta be. Oh no, he's being Diabloized. Oh no, the red zone's coming in. Oh.
Does that mean Jonas
overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Jonas has to. Yeah, I think.
Okay, this isn't the actual official rules. We're just making things up on the fly and on the spot here.
There's
22
no to go for
eliminations,
kills
Jasmine, or the TSM squad, as we like to call them. Sabrosa, Wardell, and Reps. Absolute machines. I love how Sabrosa's like, okay, look, Reps has got this. I'm just gonna go and chill, grab a drink or something.
I love the setup. I absolutely love it. But of course, respawn station is available.
Yes.
So right now, it's a matter of just kind of playing a little bit patiently. And we'll move on to the squad of Tonton. So 1 Diablo Rise. And 3 eliminations thus far, John. I gotta say, I like the fact that all of these teams, I'm wondering, have they necessarily thought it through and chatted a little bit about, you know, who they want to play, whether or not they've kind of, there's method to the madness of the different characters.
I think there's method to the madness of Tonton, because right now he was vibing, he was dancing a minute ago. I think he saw like he's on stream, he's enjoying himself, he's relaxing at the moment, you know, enjoying his gameplay. So listen, at the end of the day, are there some competitive players in here that have that competitive mentality? The likes of, I already mentioned Timmy, for example, who's a high-level player within Battle Royale. Reps, who's a pro for TSM, for example, as well. You've got multiple other players that have sort of played at the peak of high-level gaming. But then you've got the more casual content creators as well. But the main thing that they have in common here is they're working for a fantastic cause for Save the Children. And that's why, look, are they going to be competitive? Myself and you, we've done sort of fundraisers and charity streams and ambassador schemes. But we still want to win, like, you know, so we do hang on a little bit. Listen, I'm pretty sure there's infamous clips out of me of, like, rage quitting a charity stream probably at some point. But at the end of the day, they know that this is a little bit of fun. They're all here to just pick up a few eliminations and try and make some money for a great cause.
Yes, absolutely. One thing that I do want to point out is the fact that you did mention a lot of these are, like, former pro players, current pro players, but ultimately content creators nonetheless. But for me, I feel like the pro players, they have that experience of playing up on a stage, you know, performing for a really, really big audience. Content creators, though, they might start to feel the pressure.
Boss, why don't you play in more tournaments?
Yep, money on the line.
I get invited to tournaments, but I can't find good teammates. Don't want to learn the game. PUBG's.
Attention! Patient Force is having a major copying overdose. We need a reality check ASAP.
Next game. One thing to mention though is these players haven't been told, these teams haven't been told there is a cap on the game. Sometimes in kill races, traditionally they'll play 10 games, 15 games, 20 games.
Will I get invited
However,
for tournaments?
It's a situation where we said to them,
or that I
you've got
can't
3 or 4
learn the
hours.
game.
Yeah.
Whoever finishes with the most eliminations is, you know, that's who wins.
That's what you want to do, though. You want to like play back-to-back games. I feel like it's great if you do make it to enter and actually end up ultimately winning the game, which, by the way, we still have not.
For tournament.
We haven't. Not as a duo. We've won one as a trio.
Just so I don't lose my fucking supreme winning streaks.
I don't know. Maybe
we won it during beta, 100%.
Okay,
when we first played the game.
I usually play the games that
since the official release.
I feel like everyone is just
Shark Mob's done something to our account. Like they're too talented.
Hey,
there are talents for events. We can't let them be too good.
I'll tell you what it is.
It gave all of us to Viken.
We didn't have the Bloodhunt shirts.
Yes.
That's what it was.
I'm
going to start gaming with the shirt on, and I guarantee you it will give me like plus 20 aim.
Yes. Of course, as well, talking about that shirt and merch, not only does Bloodhunt have some awesome merch that you guys can check out and buy. However, there are limited edition shirts for this event only, for the Bloodhunt for charity event. The ones that myself and Golden Boy were rocking. Not too sure if you can see under our jackets. If not, I'll take it out and give you guys a bit of a Princess 12 later on.
Not camping these respawners, huh?
Exact.
This is the best thing to camp.
If you guys are interested in
Camping
that. All you've got to do to get yourself a limited edition
that
shirt
gives
is
you
$50
multiple
to the
advantages.
stream.
Not
When
just
you
the
do that on
backstab,
the
but the
Tiltify
fact
page,
that
there is
they're
a
gonna be
section
down
where you
at
can
least
select
one,
reward,
maybe
you put
2
in your details
teammates,
where you want it shipped
and you're
to,
gonna
and
win
it's
that
sent
every
the correct
time.
size straight to your house. And honestly,
These are rookies.
the shirt's dope, the texture's dope, the feel of it's dope.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's a memorabilia for me. It's like I was talking to Golden Boy before the start of the show, and one thing we said together was, it's not the fact that like we've got the shirt for working on the event. It's the fact that I've got memorable merch to look back on and say, hey, I was a part of the big kickoff event for Bloodhunt, and we raised however much money for a great cause.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like it's just one of those things that like is just irreplaceable, to be honest with you. But right now we have indeed given away 45 out of our 150.
Nearly a third.
It's nearly a third. If you folks want your own Bloodhunt shirt that is custom made, of course, as John did mention, fantastic memorabilia, make sure you do get in the Tiltify and start donating away. Once again, that's exclamation mark, not point. Donate.
I'm going to say point.
Mark.
I'm with...
No. Oh, is that Kaide? I love it. The infamous face cam.
Infamous potato. Is it potato or potato?
It's not. If you say potato, I'm gonna request for someone else to
It's
come
so
here
funny
and
because
cast
like
with me.
every member, like usually when you do an event, there is like a bulk talent from one place, right?
Yes.
However, we've literally got like a blend of like
Forsen.
6 different talent.
Yes.
So
we need to get to the White House and get him.
This here is one place
Get
feeding
Joe Biden.
Shroud feeding on civilian.
Alright, let's go get him.
Outline around the feed button, and it gave a description. I think the one you just popped was melonic.
Give me my presidency back, Biden.
Extra advantage
Wait, what?
certain foods, so you know they're useful. And Shroud, next one, gonna engage on the top. But look at this first big donation, you can say, of the day. Shout out to a Nanny Moose. I like that. Oh my! Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for a Nanny Moose. That is fantastic play on words. Huge thank you to you. We really appreciate it. $100 to a great cause. Not only did you grab yourself a custom Bloodhunt t-shirt as well. I'm not too sure if you can redeem 2 because you donated.
I was thinking the same thing.
Listen, it doesn't matter about the shirt. It's the fact that you have taken something out of your own hard-earned money to help and support some really disadvantaged children in a tough spot in their life. So huge thank
Shroud
you
leaves team for 1 second.
Absolutely.
They're both fucking
and
dead.
of course, not to forget, we are giving away plenty more stuff as well. So do make sure you're continuing to donate. We have plenty more milestones coming up as well. And I'm super, super excited to see how much we ultimately end up raising. Of course, 51,000 is the goal. The way that things have been going so far, I have full faith that we got this.
Yeah, listen, I believe in the Bloodhunt community. Yeah. All right, I believe in it. It's a community that since the game release has been super tight-knit. Everyone's been involved. The feedback's been great. I think there are like nearly 200k Discord members as well, which is great. So if you want to join the Bloodhunt Discord, I'm sure you can find it somewhere on social media. However, make sure you do get involved. Raise some amazing funds for an amazing cause, and be a part of Bloodhunt history. This is the first ever
Not bad.
Big
not
Bloodhunt
bad.
event. I'm super proud, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of thus far, and we've only just got into it. But is that the first victory we've seen on stream today, Jazz?
I think it
Team Shroud doing what it does
Awesome,
best.
I noticed
I would
your
say I'm
title
surprised, but I'm
said
absolutely not surprised.
Popcorn
I
stream.
would have been surprised
when
if
it
you
usually says
Yeah.
games
Do you know how
and
many
shit.
eliminations
Is
there
this what the God Gamer has
Yeah,
been
that's
reduced to?
amazing. Right,
Why
we had a
isn't the
22,
money
which
they're
was
paying you to watch
$220.
this shit
Then we
going
had
to
another
their sponsor
20, which was
charity?
$200.
Please clarify.
I love the fact that Shark Mob are like like matching people for the amount of eliminations they get, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It's an incentive that probably, you know, over the space of 4 hours will rack up a lot of eliminations.
More in the end.
The wonderful folks from Shark Mob, indeed. But Tauntaun,
right?
You really got to hit those.
You're using the AK though, Jazz. What gun are you usually using in this? Oh, this is the worst thing ever. Oh, there you go. That's one of the ability usages.
Okay, the trail was there. The trail was there. Unfortunately, it does go away, but oh, you did manage to get a knockdown. Are they gonna try and Diablerize?
Got to. It's for the cause.
Diablerize.
Gio, I believe. I believe. Oh, there we go. Another Diablerize. Fantastic stuff. So that's back-to-back Diablerizes for them. That's $30 into the kitty and into the pot for the people at Shark Mob to donate over to the amazing cause we are supporting. Tauntaun in particular, 29 players left alive in the lobby. You can see on the screen, we're only half an hour, Jazz, into this affair. 3 hours and 28 minutes, 20 seconds left. Honestly, I think we are surpassing... Well, what is our goal? What was it?
51,000.
51,000. I'm calling it. We are doubling, if not tripling, that amount from the game, just from kills alone.
Okay.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure on the squads, but I believe.
Lots of pressure on the squads here, but also for the folks at home. But Shojoka, plenty of health to work with right now. Well, let's see. Weaving as well.
How they get on. Lots of shots. That's the vanish again. That's what sort of Icon was talking about, right? Whereas if you're getting tagged up really heavily, you can pop the vanish and then sort of dip yourself away and, you know, live to see another day as such. But
I probably use my vanish in the wrong way. So if someone is like shooting,
you use your vanish if you spot high loot and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go and get that.
I'm gonna get that before anybody else does. No, but seriously, I feel like I'm kind of like I have the confidence in my own ability when I probably shouldn't a lot of the time. But that's where the importance of melee weapons come into play as well. The amount of times, John, that I have been eliminated due to melee weapons is absolutely unbelievable. But again, that's why it's so great, because even if your aim isn't necessarily the greatest making use of those melee weapons, yeah, you think you need to get up close and personal to them, but if you
don't forget to remind Nanny when she leaves the house she should put her shunded but plugged.
It can really start to pay off.
I mean, I remember playing back in in beta, right, and when the game first came out, for example, and like the alphas and stuff, and I remember I was just chilling, vibing, and then all of a sudden my screen was just like extremely red, and I was like, what's happening? And I was just getting hacked in the back from like a katana or an axe, and I was like, okay, so this is a thing. What we just saw momentarily though was one of the bats used, right? Where they scouted out the information, they found the location, they got the knock, they're gonna get the Diablerize now as well. 35 eliminations, Jasmine. And we take time to appreciate that. They've got more kills in one game than I think you've got in your whole career.
Hey! Watch it.
Wait, what the fuck?
I'll let you have that one this
I'm sorry.
time.
How the hell do you have 37 eliminations?
Because I dug at you first, but watch your back, John.
What the fuck?
That's all I'm saying. But the likes of Sub Rosa,
how many
Wardell,
people in one lobby?
Reps, we did mention, of course, a lot of
like
pro players on there. Got there eventually. Pro players amongst
40?
the ranks there, John. So for me personally,
that's
I'm not
necessarily
surprised,
then,
but can they walk away with a victory? We saw Shroud do it.
Won.
I'm curious to see whether or not the pro players can kind of bring something to the table as well.
Oh, dude, his
that
lasering
is
nice.
Disgusting aim from Sabrosa. He does get tagged up. He is going to be dropped eventually, though.
Oh.
However, that revive station is
third party.
Right, you can go ahead and bring yourself back alive. Another huge donation you can see on your screen. Another $100. This time from Kickbox VDGBE. I apologize if that was like a play on words and I've completely ignored it. But Kickbox, thank you so much. $100 into the total for Tiltify right now, and honestly,
I think that's 29 shirts left.
Is that maybe 29 shirts?
Because we had 45.
Wow, maybe we were
wrong. In which case, you folks want to be donating as quickly as possible. We are very, very quickly approaching the $15,000 mark. We are so incredibly close. So if you are fancying a shirt of your own, make sure you follow like Kickbox VDGBE. I got there. That was good, right?
That was your best M&M impression.
Thank you very much.
Or 3v3.
I mean, it's absolutely insane to say. I mean, let's talk a little bit more about the eliminations, for example, as well. One thing we want to
the fact that you have to suck all these people,
the audience at home, is
kind of counters gas camping.
Not knock, but confirmed elimination.
If you're not fully stacked for the last 5,
Shark Mob are going to donate $10
you have to go
per
look
elimination to
civilians.
the Tiltify and to the cause for Save the Children. However, if there is a Diablerize that happens, which is where you drain and suck the blood of another vampire, which I think you pick them up by the throat and squeeze them in or something like that.
The ultimate betrayal.
Little animation that you see, this would be great if this person would just Diablerize. Do it, please.
Do it now.
This is, okay, they have I did, but that would have been a Diablerize. That is going to be $15
it was a green
from
shotgun.
Shark Mob, who will donate it. So, for example, right now, this is 13 Diablerizes. What? That's that's $185 if I'm correct. That just from Diablerizes alone, and they had like 22 kills, which would have been $220 for example. So yeah, hopefully that clears up a little bit. We'll try and get a message in the chat as well that clears up for you guys as well. But if you do want to give to the cause, then make sure you do that explanation point in the chat, and you can get involved in it as well. But Kaide's team up to 3 eliminations. They've just kicked off their openings.
Legendary minigun, not taking legendary minigun.
How small this zone is.
Having
Are you
a
fan of how
MP9?
quick and how fast the zones move, Jazz, or would you like them to be a little bit more relaxed?
You know what? I'm actually a huge fan of like how quick they move, but I feel like one thing that I often forget is the parkour element within this game, John. Making sure I'm climbing those buildings, getting optimal positioning upon all of my opponents, because a lot of the time I just walk out in the open and I'm like, yeah, I'm just minding my own business. Nothing to see here, but Kaide trying to connect some of those shots, but unfortunately being downed right there. That's heartbreaking for her. I like how the potato head just kind of floats.
Just drops. Well and truly was mashed. And I think there was one player left alive for her team, though, so we'll have to wait and see. Shroud, though, team, they've just come off the back of, what, like a 25 elimination win? I think they've got 15 already, 11 Diablerizes. They're still lock and loaded and killing things. I think that was a 39 elimination win, maybe.
Shroud
from Sabrosa.
Yeah,
is that true? Did we see that correctly? I think we might have. That's ridiculous, to say the least. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from that squad of...
But again, not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think, the 3 players on their team are like some of one of the most respected FPS players and seasoned FPS players within around their sort of respected fields and games. So no surprise at all. Nothing really stands out in terms of being a shock. However, one thing
I didn't even know they had mics on.
To me is how
why has no one else said a word?
And we have seen some ridiculously high score gameplay already.
And there's still lots more to come as well, John. For you folks that are joining us in the fabulous Twitch chat, a big hello to all of you, and also a reminder that twitch.tv/Bloodhunt game is the only channel that actually has drops enabled. So if you are joining us from one of the
super cool
creator
drops,
streams, then make sure you stay tuned over on
chat.
this stream as well. Keep them tabbed in the background if you so wish, because we have the channel with drops for a pineapple power jacket, which in itself, the name is Chef's Kiss. Question, pineapple on pizza, does it belong or not?
Pineapple on... We actually had this debate the other day with your family. I don't know, I'm going to do what every good caster and host does in this situation when they don't know the correct answer. And you say, let's let Twitch chat decide, or let's let the social media chats decide. Whatever platform you're watching on right now, of course, to be involved in those drops, you have to watch the Twitch stream to get the drops. Let us know. 1 in chat for pizza on pineapple on pizza. 2 in chat if not.
Wait,
these are the live standings. Are
not playing on the same team.
Team Sarakel.
Sacriel,
sorry. I can't read. I thought that was an A.
It's okay. It's okay.
Right. $515 in terms of donations thus far already.
17 Diableries.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. Okay, 17 is absolutely huge. Taking a look at Team Shroud, though, 16 eliminations. That's absolutely amazing from them. Sub-Rosa.
39. That is ridiculous.
I'm a little bit mind blown right now.
That's over. He's nearly killed every person in the lobby. I'm pretty sure. I think there's what, like 42 players in the lobby, if I'm correct. Like that's ridiculous. Like, that's utterly insane.
Why can't
Come
we
on,
do
Team
that?
Arayit. 2 frags.
Look, we're looking for squad members, okay? So,
LFT, Bloodhunt, please carry us. This is where I'm going to just slide into Vikings DMs later and be like, please carry me, dude.
Please, send help.
I'm sure he's down for that.
Lit.
You know.
That guy's by the van. Oh, nice.
Either way.
Okay.
No.
See, immediately just from listening in, pointing out when somebody is incredibly lit, when there is an opportunity for your teammate to try and strike as well is absolutely crucial. And yet again, we have another Diablerie coming into the fray.
All 3 of them are down below.
I absolutely love this, John. Think of the parkour element, continuing to duck and dive throughout the map, picking up some of those syringes as well. You can see the bats that we were going on about. Now his location has indeed been revealed. So you've got to start to make a little bit of a risky play. Do you opt to take the fight, which in this case looks like he doesn't really have much of an option?
Dude's 37 HP and don't care.
Yeah.
Don't give a damn, Jazz, alright? He's here for Diablerizes and eliminations and to make money for a fantastic cause. That blood bag, though, going to be instantly popped, jumps back down to challenge the final remaining players, finds 2 knocks, though, so himself and his teammates still left alive, going to Diablerize 1. I think the zone's going to tag him up too much, though. He's going to stick the Diablerize, does get it. And that's going to be the 18th Diablerize in this game alone for himself and his squad. That's ridiculous stuff. Again, $15 per Diablerize will be donated from Shark Mob and the Bloodhunt team into the cause. $10 for every elimination that these teams get right now. So we're talking about a lot of cash so far here, Jazz.
Yes, and once again, for those of you that might just be joining us, a mere $5 can provide 1 week's worth of food for families affected by conflict. So make sure you are getting donated. Donate as much as possible, really, to be quite honest with you. Fantastic cause nonetheless. And the fact that Shark Mob are kind of matching this and also giving back to the community as well as a charity, it absolutely, yeah.
Listen, there's so many companies, not going to name names, that just literally just rinse it for the money and just don't care about their community and care about a great cause. And that's why I said you've got to say huge props to Shark Mob. But let's talk, listen, I feel like we've talked about ourselves and obviously the great cause. Let's talk a little bit more about the game of actual Bloodhunt, Jazz. We talk about sort of our favourite picks, our favourite abilities, etc. You said your favourite places to land. But in general, sum up Bloodhunt as a whole. How much do you enjoy playing this game compared to other battle royales? Because you're a huge Battle Royale fan. I think me and you, we've been like working together for like 3 years closely now, and we've probably played every Battle Royale under the sun together. However, I've never seen you have as much fun as you do when you play this game.
I'll tell you what it is. I think it's the added element of the parkour. Yes, like ducking, diving, weaving, jumping between buildings. Hey, like, I like to think I'm not completely unhealthy, maybe a little bit, but there is no way in heck that I could duck and dive and jump from building to building,
I mean,
like in real life, you know?
I would probably give myself a cardiac arrest or a heart attack if I tried to, alright? I've got a dodgy heart as it is, alright? Like, listen, it's on my medical record for crying out loud. But no, yeah, I think, you know, the parkour element is outstanding.
Yes.
My favorite sort of game of all time is Assassin's Creed. And one of those main reasons is because the parkour ability in it is so fun to play. This is like a mashup of that and like 5 other games, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you. Seeing how seamless the kind of parkour element is, for me, if I'm completely honest with you, because I'm implementing an element like that, kind of being able to climb as many buildings as possible and kind of climbing not only the buildings themselves but also the intricate details, like, you know, the chimneys, the like really, really thin poles and stuff like that in itself is definitely no easy feat for a lot of the Shark Mob dev teams. So the fact that they've been able to do it from a game dev perspective, you know, I started geeking
I was literally, you took the words out my mouth. I was like, you literally studied game design, you've made games yourself, so you must be geeking out. But not only that, sometimes I've played games before that have parkour elements in it, and it's so clunky and janky and a little bit junky. And listen, no one's going to complain about having junk in their trunk, but sometimes when you're climbing up a building, alright, you don't want it, alright? It's not a good combination, let me tell you now. So, I mean, the fact that it's so smooth and effortless and you could say flawless at times.
That was a funny joke, Pastor.
But the devs listen to our feedback. I know we're going to be translating our feedback to them as well. However, you know,
very
so
funny
indeed. Somewhat of a polished art, some will come out and release. But we've seen our second win on the stream.
Forsen can't contain himself over here.
1 or 2 eliminations left alive, and then he'll try and secure himself the second double.
Shot about to get butt fucked by minigun.
Oh my goodness! I feel like Shroud. Come on, man.
Dude,
start getting some revives into play.
Like he is literally in the middle of a street getting shot at by 5 different people.
Oh,
he's alone though.
In the red zone. Can he make it up in time?
Yeah,
I do think he might have.
I say he will get fucked.
Did he pop something?
Yeah, he popped one of the additions into the game, which sort of allows you to be invulnerable from the red zone, which is super useful for rotations like that, for example. The resurrections are going to try and come in. Hopefully, he can get his teammates back in. You know, I mentioned
there's no way he gets a resurrection off at this fucking stage.
On the map, it's a huge white burst of light in the air. That's the
fucking
revive
3
station
players
where you can
remaining.
go to become resurrected.
1 versus 2.
If you do die out early, but I think this late into the game, you're not going to do that. He's actually in a 2 versus 1. He has knocked one already, so now he's in the 1 versus
1v2.
1, if I'm correct.
He doesn't have any armor though, John. This is the problem right now. Pistol in hand.
You don't need armor, Jazz.
No, you say that. You say that, but he's equipping it for a reason, John. He knows that he's going to need this armor when it comes to taking this fight. Oh my goodness, this is so close.
Oh, he's won it.
Is he going to make use of his abilities?
Put it so low. The Diablo Rise for the final
kill. There we go.
As if you doubted the man, the myth, probably undeniably one of the GOATs of all time of gaming, Shroud winning a 1 versus 1. Everyone right now at Veracity with 2 Ys and an underscore, just spam F at her, alright? All the Shroud army just make fun of her. How dare you?
I was the one
that is gaming royalty that you have just watched, Jasmine.
Hey man, I told you he was going to pop that armor and he was going to win it out. Those were my exact words, but right now 42 eliminations in the bag for Team Sub Rosa. That totals up to $420 being donated by the Shark Mob devs. Once again, for every single elimination that is indeed confirmed, Shark Mob will be donating $10, and for every Diablo Rise, they will be donating 15. So I feel like Team Sub Rosa really are going to win this out. Give me your prediction. Which team do you think is going to win it out?
Seeing as you've just disrespected him, I'm going Team Shroud. All right, I know where my royalties lie. I don't want to say I'm a Shroud fanboy, but I'm a huge fan of his work. Like I think I've respected him way back since when he used to play like CS, for example. Like like I've always followed him. So I think them boys have got it in the bag. However, Sub Rosa's team's going to be hard to shut down. Is that another huge donation I see, Jazz?
That is another incredibly huge donation. Invis DK donating $100. A huge thank you from ourselves, Shark Mob devs, and of course the wonderful charity that is Save the Children. Because without donations like this, none of this would be possible. And I love the fact that we're rapidly kind of towering through all of these milestones that we've got, John.
Yeah, we are just ticking them off one by one, and we've not even completed the first hour of gameplay, Jazz. We're
also
already,
NAPing.
Like a quarter nearly of the way through our first goal, which is ludicrous. So huge thank you. Honestly, if you any little honestly helps, it can be the matter of $1 all the way up to big donations like the $100-200 mark. Anything you can do can honestly really help. The charity we're working with is Save the Children. It's a fantastic sort of charity. It helps give refugees fleeing conflicts like Ukraine basic stuff, basic essentials and fundamentals and rations to survive.
46
all you
kills.
Gotta do is do
This guy is
in the chat.
new Shroud.
Get a direct link to the Tiltal fight
as
to how to donate.
Myself,
I've already chucked a few donations in there as well, doing my bit. Hopefully you lot at home can do the same.
I feel like another thing to point out is that
this
if
guy
you're
doesn't
in
give
a
a fuck
position
about
where you're
the
unable
maximum
to donate,
BM
that is
shit
completely
that gives them
fine.
extra donations
All
to
I'm
charity.
asking of you is to make sure you're
He
spreading
just
word
goes for
about
all
the
the
broadcast,
kills.
spread word about the stream, post it across
it takes
social
too
media,
long
use the
for the fucking
hashtag
animation.
Bloodhunt for
He just
charity.
goes for
That's
the next
number
fucking
4, so
backstab.
Bloodhunt the number 4 and then charity. Make sure you're tagging the Bloodhunt account of
He was a CS pro? Yeah, I recognize his name.
Over on Instagram,
Is it the guy that does the op stuff?
Because even if you're just spreading word about the event, making it known to other people, helping it get onto other people's pages, maybe they'll be able to donate.
Yeah, exactly. But again, if you want to be involved in stuff, even like Twitch drops, for example, if you are watching via like you've got multiple streams up at the same time and you're hearing this, you have to be in our stream in order to win those Twitch drops. You've got lots of drops going.
The guy who does the ace with the op on the Mirage clip, right? Is that not him?
Cross on the side of them, and we've
Fucking
got the
B-side
cotton hoodie as well.
Oh my god!
Absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculousness. $200 from Fuzzwaz. Absolutely insane.
Love that name, by the way.
Fuzzwaz. It's either Fuzzwaz or Fuzzwaz. Either way.
No, it's Fuzzwaz. It has to be Fuzzwaz.
Okay, well, this is like our 15th argument of the weekend already, which is great. But either way, $200, huge. Is that? I think that might be the biggest donation so far. Can anyone beat that? Let us know. Huge thank you to you. The people that Save the Children are going to be overwhelmed with the support that you have got given so far. thank you so much, honestly, not only from, you know, everyone else's, but even from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. You know, it's a charity that we're working closely with here, with Shark Mob and Bloodhunt, and honestly, this whole thing wouldn't be possible without you amazing viewers at home.
So how many shirts does that person get? Fuzzbuzz?
Bro, save the children in this lobby, man.
We've got like 15 missed calls from Shark Mob devs saying they don't get a shirt every $50. They only get or something like that. I don't know. We're probably sacked and you guys will never see us again here. But either way, a huge thank you to Fuzzbuzz. Absolutely insane and honestly so kind that you've taken the time out to tune into the stream and give to a great cause. Speaking of giving to a great cause, $480 in terms of eliminations right now. Remember, Shark Mob are giving away $10 to the Tiltify and the cause every elimination you get. So 48 times 10, 480. Of course, it's $15 per Diablerize. They've got 2. That makes it $30 in Diablerizes thus far in this game alone. One thing I love though is the fact that this overlay is showing us all the Steam achievements and the game rewards that they're popping up. It's crazy. This Tommy gun, Jazz, are you a fan of the Tommy gun? He chose not to pick it up and go for the marksman instead. So Bros obviously knows what he's doing. I love the Tommy gun though. It shreds at close range, man.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still a sniper kind of gal, I'll be completely honest with you. But I do believe just a moment ago, we actually saw the Muse trying to kind of teleport away, make use of some sort of abilities, TP to their clone that they actually had as well once they were knocked. And that's yet again a really cool ability as well, that if you do get knocked down, that your cooldowns definitely refresh once you're downed, and then you're actually able to kind of heal yourself, your allies, and yet again another Diablerize. 49 eliminations. These guys are in an absolute roll.
Yeah, okay, can I never queue against Sabrosa, Reps, and Wardell in a game of Bloodhunt in my life? I'm literally looking across to Jackie and Golden Boy, and they're like, please, we're the Americans. We're probably getting in the lobbies with them. Save us at this point. I've got the nod of approval, so at least I know what I'm talking about, right? But listen, honestly, we spoke about these not basically being the TSM team, right? I mean, they've all either a part of it or represented them at some times. Sabrosa, you know, probably one of the higher rated North American Valorant players. You know, Wardell very well respected within Valorant for a while, and now sort of taking a back step into more content creation and stuff. Reps seasoned in terms of being a professional Battle Royale player. This suits his playstyle to the T. No surprises that they're performing, but to perform this well, Jazz, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, making use of this ability right here to not... Okay, so I immediately use this to reveal the location of where all the high tier loot is at right now. But yeah, making use of that to kind of reveal the location of your enemies as well is absolutely amazing from them. They did opt to go for a straight elimination instead of...
We are